Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer. And a very pleasant good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. How are you on this? What day is it? It's hump day. Remember that commercial that got on my last night? Hump day. Yes. Well, good morning. You are into Sunshine's Corner, and we want to welcome a person that's on a mission. This man, he's walking boldly in purpose, and we're talking about Terrence Barber. He is committed to being a catalyst for generational wealth in all communities. Do you have that in order? Now, for 10 years through his Working Class Wednesday initiative, he has poured into individuals and families, equipping them with tools, the mindset that I totally believe in, and the discipline to build lasting legacy. Have you gotten yours in order? Well, Terrence is raised with a powerful principle. Treat the janitor with the same respect as the CEO. I thought that was powerful. And that value of humility that honors and shapes his leadership today. A proud graduate of Florida A&M University, he encourages everyone to believe in their own potential. I taught that as well, Terrence. And to fulfill your own expectations. Not someone else's limits. Believe in yourself. So join me today in welcoming Mr. Terrence Barber, who's going to talk about today all about that generational wealth. And I have seen him in Pensacola doing some things here since the first time I met him. Good morning, Terrence. How are you?
Good morning. Great morning.
Great morning.
Grand morning.
There it is.
First and foremost, thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
For affording me the opportunity to share this platform. I see you did your research.
Yes, I did.
Preparation.
Yes, that's
Proper
what it takes.
Preparation.
You got to have it.
Proper preparation.
You know, because you can't just say,
so
oh,
much.
duh.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You know, I've watched you.
Yes, ma'am.
And even when I first met you, I was still go back and I watch, and you're always, you're moving, you're reaching those goals. And then when I went to your website, I see you really doing things, and that's what it takes. Consistency, believing and fulfilling that in you, that you can share with the communities.
Absolutely.
And when you said generational wealth, nobody think about that. So I'm going to say what I share that I see today. It's lacking, I think, the importance of that generational legacy that we don't have, and you're bringing that to people to show them how. What is it that got you into that? Terrence, tell us how you got into, just tell us about Terrence.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much again. My name is Terrence L. Barber, born and raised in Tallahassee, Florida.
Right.
My father owned a business. Most of the men on my father's side of the family, all entrepreneurs, all business owners. I grew up following in that mode of being able to pass something down.
Right.
Which is one of the pillars of generational wealth. I think that at a certain age and at a certain point, but through my own lived experiences, I realized that we deserve more.
Absolutely.
We deserve more, whether that's individually, within your household, within your community, within your neighborhood. We all in this country deserve more. And I think that through education and experience, what was taught to me that there are certain pillars that we must be able to pass the baton, to pass down in order to create this worth more. It's not an overnight situation where socioeconomic statuses of entire communities are just changed overnight. I think that through education, being able to business ownership, a pillar of generational wealth. So many times in our communities, we don't value our health.
Tell me about it.
The only pathway to generational wealth is good health.
You got to have that.
You can't separate. There's no way that the two can not operate together, because of course it doesn't make sense to be rich if you can barely get out.
Exactly.
Okay,
and you said something that means so much to me, is that health, and people look over that a lot.
Absolutely. And I think that what I look at is through my own. My father, this great business owner that passed down this business to my brothers. He taught us all a trade. Right. We all know how to work with our hands. We grew up. Actually, my father passed in 2007, and my brother still owns and operates my father's drywall company. The same name, the same logo, the same phone number, because my father passed that down to him. But my father passed away at 55 years old because of health indication. So that's why I say that taught me we have to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Especially as a people. If we're looking at the numbers, and sometimes numbers lie. But when it comes to our health and what we're feeding ourselves on a day-to-day basis, I think is It's a true story.
You know what? And I think when you talk about that, when you say generational wealth, all they're thinking is monetary. But this is the most valuable asset there is.
Right, absolutely. And think about leaving that legacy.
Right.
Life insurance.
Exactly.
Another pillar.
Oh my God.
Another pillar. When we talk
Are you reading my mind?
When we talk about the conversation and we look at statistically how certain communities, we not only leave a legacy, they're not leaving behind debts and promises and things.
You know,
love, everybody enjoys love, but nobody wants to talk. Everybody enjoys life, but we don't want to have that conversation about death and what that means when it happens. Because
it's going to happen.
So generational wealth. Certain communities understand that there's going to be an end date. And at that end date, what happens to the legacy that I leave behind? So that's another pillar. A good friend of mine, Tori Ford, back in Tallahassee, who does life insurance and start teaching me these things. I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know.
Right.
I mean, I understood that when my father passed, I kind of remember the situation. When my mom passed, I experienced a totally different situation.
I know the feeling.
Because my mom understood that this was going to happen and how to prepare and leave that estate and things in order.
Exactly.
Generational wealth.
And that is so important. As a matter of fact, when I say that, are you reading my mind? There was a post that I did just yesterday. I was running and ripping so hard yesterday, but at the end of the post, I said, you know, we prepare for everything else. But there's one that we don't prepare for, and that's the inevitable.
Right.
It's all going to happen.
It has
but
to
we
happen.
got to take that time and the hustle and bustle.
Right. That's what estate planners are for. People
Exactly.
are literally setting generations to come up for success.
Exactly.
And guess what? This success is all based around their death.
Exactly.
Like this entire.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why it's called an estate plan.
Exactly.
Yes, so transfer.
Why do you think that some of us are
generational wealth, education.
So why do you think some of us are so afraid to even talk about that? Because I think that sometimes when we say, okay, let's talk about the life insurance. I'm going to go back to that health and get up with that chair and go exercise and watch what you eat. But it's like if I start that, they're afraid to say, oh, no, I'm not going to die. No, you're going to die one day, so have it in order. It's like they don't want to plan for that.
Right.
Because I think they think they're putting a number on themselves.
Right. And I mean, there's an old saying that says everybody wants to go to heaven, but
nobody want to die.
Don't nobody want to die. And I think it's cultural. I think it's just something that's taboo to talk about. Because even though my mom had life insurance and things in place, she never discussed that with us.
Right.
Like we never sat and had this conversation about what should happen in the event that I pass away. Like with certain communities, I think culturally just don't. I guess we expect the inevitable, but we don't want to educate and talk about it in certain spaces. And I think that's one of the biggest things, educating. Like my kids know, like I went early on. Well, I pray to God it's early on. And thank you, Jamie Coleman, my attorney and estate planner back in Tallahassee. But I'm praying that, you know, just before halftime, I did start to begin to make these plans. Real estate. What happens when people pass away?
Come on.
Generational wealth, first health, generational wealth, business ownership, home ownership, real estate.
Right.
Another way that generational wealth is passed down, but guess what? If you're in bad health, your estate's not playing. You got a property that you own. You have several children that are not left with
I understand
this situation because we didn't have a plan. That portion of generational wealth isn't inherited a lot of times in certain communities, and I think that also comes through education, but that's another part 3 of generational wealth.
And if they don't plan it, because then the state gonna take it.
The state will take it. You got 3 or 4, and I've experienced this, 3 or 4 siblings on one property. Now, 3 out of the 4, maybe 2 out of the 4, maybe 1 out of the 4 siblings decide, you know, this is something I want to take care of because mother, father, you know, left it to us.
They did.
But they'll never own it because we failed to plan.
There you go.
Generational wealth. Sometimes a lot of people lose their grandmama property to taxes and think, you know, and we know what those neighborhoods look like. That's another part of generational wealth.
Let's be transparent to wake them up. I mean, it's real though.
We can't control what we don't own.
Exactly.
Right.
So therefore, I mean, but look at the process. What he's talking about. First, you got to take care of you. Then you got to plan so that you can be taken care of, even when the event that you leave, you're still taking care of you. And then you got to make sure even what you have, you're taking care of that, so that won't get taken. You can leave that for your children and their children to keep that generational wealth growing.
Right.
And I mean, I understand, and I'm finding out more each and every day because, I got mine together, 3 or 4. But what I'm saying is, though, because when I saw that, in times in my family, like my mother and my father, they had that together.
Right.
They never talked to us about it, but they did. And there's some things that they left, I took on, and I'm continuing to carry it. But they built that.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And what we're trying to have people to realize is, don't just live for today, plan for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Plan for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Because it's a thing, it's going to come, so you don't know, but plan for it anyway.
Absolutely.
And it's so difficult when you see a person, and what gets me a lot, Terrence, and I think that even with some of the younger generation, everything is.
For sure. For sure.
But
Instant.
I mean, it's instantaneous.
Because it's possible. They've seen it happen. They've seen things go from
I call
zero.
it that Burger King fix. You know what I mean?
They're used to that. Yeah, they're used to that.
Exactly. But then what bugs me the most, and I'll say it out loud, when the inevitable happened, then you got to go to a GoFundMe. Right. Come on, man.
Right. And I think a lot of that, and I think that would be my 4th point, and I think that's financial education. A lot of times it's not a subject that they teach in school. And if your parents, if generationally, financial education, finances, we're not sitting at dinner tables talking about, hey, this is what we're going to do. I'm adding you to this credit card to help build your credit at this point. We're going to do this. We're going to invest this into you because these people, there's people, the process starts with an individual that first has the understanding of how to maintain what's left to them.
That's right.
That's the last pillar of generational wealth. Sometimes, guess what? Mama did have it in order.
Exactly.
She did. Mama did everything she was supposed to do. She told you, when I die, you're going to get this. This is going to be yours. This is going to be yours. But guess what? Nobody ever told him, this individual, okay, mama gone. Now, here go this money.
That's right.
Here go this money.
That's right.
What do you do next?
That's right.
If you're not educated.
Exactly.
Here we are again.
Back to the same.
We're starting this perpetual cycle.
Exactly.
Back over.
How are we going to break that?
It's a holistic approach.
How are we gonna really, okay, the job that you do, and I see by watching you, you are consistent. I mean, and consistency works.
Right, absolutely.
Both ways.
Absolutely.
I mean, and with your consistency, when you're back and forth here and what you're doing here, and then I see now you got something coming up, I think it's Quincy, Florida?
Quincy, Florida. Shout out to Gaston County.
There you go. I see you
County.
even moving there, educating there as well. So therefore, you're reaching out for the entire state of Florida. But what I'm looking at right here in Pensacola, I see so many talk, but they're really not walking it, because when they come down to the realization of it, it's not there. But if we get over this fact of trying to build to make somebody think, let's do the real deal.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you're naming off some things that is utterly important. That if we don't have this in order, number one, taking care of you, but I look at how many people lose their property. Just like here in Pensacola, look at all these new houses popping up.
Absolutely. Right.
Look at the homes that are being, oh my God, even right up the street.
Right.
I walked this area, right? And I saw those houses go up like that.
Right.
I mean, I can't even remember what I saw there before, but it's growing. We need to educate our people how to be into that as well, so that they won't get left behind and say, well, I spent the little money I got for that and I'm all gone now. What am I going to do? I mean, and that's the part when you say educate.
Right.
What can we make sure that they get this understanding and we can pass that knowledge down?
Because I think at the end of the day, and I hear these stories, and I will say this, I want to say shout out to Pensacola for, there's a generation of people I see active in this community that are actually from, I know a lot about this community just by watching certain people in this, like you got like people like Hale and Jermaine and people that I'm going online following them, and they are young and active in the community and understanding. So but we have the same conversations that I have back in Tallahassee.
I hear you.
Well, I see areas now that are either blight or have been coined gentrified by new development or new homes coming up. This used to be, this whole entire block used to be a certain community, but we skipped the most important piece from this was a black neighborhood to now these are student housing, is what happened in between.
Exactly.
Like what happened in between this community no longer belonging to
the black community
to now belong, was it eminent domain? Did the government just come in and seize all of these properties and just take them from people? No, probably not. The truth is something happened between this and that where someone didn't take care of grandmama estate. Someone didn't do right by it.
Exactly.
And so it's like a lot of, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So like I say, only educating ourselves. In order to pass something down, like, not only do you have to be able to pass it, but I have to be able to hold it.
Come on.
Every time you give me the ball, I'm fumbling.
There you go.
If every time grandmama leave a house.
That's right, I'm with you.
We fumbling. I mean, I think that's just all education. It's all foundational.
Now, you said something, I cut you off. When you said even down, when you see what's happening here with all the new developments.
It's the same.
Do you think that ball was fumbled in the middle? Because I'm thinking like this too, Terrence. Okay, because you know, I had to purchase this from you. You couldn't, I mean, I believe they're giving a option. They think maybe when there's a number, they think that's a lot, when it's not. When you say $100,000, no, that's nothing.
Right.
You can go through $100,000 in a couple hours. I mean, but what I'm saying is though, with that, for them to lose that and not holding on to it.
Right. Because a lot of times we know the price of things, but we don't understand the value.
Thank you. Say that. There's a great big difference in that.
And if we look at the benchmark, and I've seen this in all communities that I visit, the benchmark of so-called black success was to grow up, become gainfully employed, whether that's through entrepreneurship or
exactly.
And then move out.
That's right.
Of your community.
Exactly.
There was a more valuable, there was a better community for you to reach, and that was a part of your success. So this community here, we began to value less and less because we can only see the value of things at face value. Oh, grandmama left me this house, but this, that, and we didn't see the value. But there was another group of individuals watching the property value in these communities.
Exactly.
Waiting for the property value, waiting for the property value to mention, and guess what, if it's valued, things that are sought after will maintain their value. But once we taught ourselves that there was no value in this, and now that we see someone else saw it, 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, like we have historic communities in Tallahassee, Frenchtown, one of the oldest black establishments in this country probably. But my uncle, I still have an uncle, my Uncle Kenny, like he's seen our Frenchtown go from this buzzing community of color, where national touring artists would come and visit, to now it's the Renaissance Center, now it's student housing. But he remembers, he can tell the story of how it became that way. Generational wealth.
I mean,
generational wealth. We have to start valuing
exactly. And you know, we're talking with Terrence, and he's touching so many buttons that said those numbers, my eyes just, because these are things I think that we need to really educate ourselves on, and not just hear about it, but be about it. We're going to talk more with Terrence when we return right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year long. We're strengthening poles to better withstand severe weather. We're clearing lines to improve resiliency, and we're constantly training teams to act at a moment's notice. Because we're always working, always preparing. So when storms do hit, you can count on us. FPL, working for you every single day.
Get a fresh cut and a fresh start at AHW Barber Academy. We focus on growth. Join us at 3822 North 9th Avenue, Pensacola, for a top-notch $6 haircut while supporting aspiring barbers. Our students learn in a real-world setting, guided by experienced professionals to become licensed barbers. Need a cut or a new career? Visit AHW Barber Academy or call 850-692-9298.
I'm Emily Echeverria, Marketing Communications Director for Council on Aging of West Florida and the host of Coming of Age. Watch our show to find out what we're doing for our seniors and their families and hear from area experts and local business owners about their programs and services. Want to help? Find out how you can work with us to bring a better future to our seniors. Watch Coming of Age, 3:30 p.m. Wednesdays, only on Blab TV.
And welcome back to this Wednesday edition of Sunshine's Corner. We're talking with Mr. Terrence L. Barber. I know you put that L in there. And we're talking about generational wealth, which is from the top to the bottom, from the valuable statue that you have here. You only get one of them. You got to take care of that in order to move on with this. I want to go back to this because I think when I read this really, really stuck with me. When you said, what I read on your site, that you treat a janitor
Absolutely.
with the same respect as a CEO. I want you to talk about that, what that means to you, because I think that sets a foundation because some people think, okay, well, that's a janitor. You know what I'm saying? Let me reach over here. Well, hello, Mr. CEO.
Right.
But you treat them in the same. What value that has with you and what you do?
I think that in all humility, we understand that there's certain phases in life that we all go through. Like, there are a lot of times we see these super successful people and we think that we absolutely have first of all, we have no idea what they did
To get there.
Right? That doesn't make them a great person because they hold a certain title. And you absolutely have no idea how passionate or what the janitor may be doing in order to make this entire ecosystem of what you call a small business or even a larger corporation exist. There's no one more important than the other. Like the CEO and frontline staff, they need each other.
I agree.
And I think that in life, a lot of times we look at people's status or their stature or their title, and that's where we place our importance. But understanding that you never know. You never know when the janitor may become.
Thank you. That was on my lips.
The CEO.
Exactly.
You know, so you got to make sure. Like I didn't start here. I'm sure Sonshine didn't just.
No, she didn't.
A lot of things, but they don't understand the importance of or the value of people unless there's a title attached. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes we can make.
And that is so. What you're saying is so powerful because of the fact that when you do these things, it is to me in my eyesight like this. Ladies, you all fine. She's trying. But when you see a person, because some people will look down, because I think about this, to make that puzzle complete, all of these things got to connect. That janitor could own his own business. But that's,
You just never know.
You never know. That doesn't mean that you got to look down because he makes sure the building is clean.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Does the building need to be clean?
Come on now.
How many buildings need to be clean?
Thank you.
So there's value in that.
There's value in everything that you do.
Absolutely.
And don't look at a person because they say, oh, I'm the CEO of my cleaning business.
Now lead with respect.
There you go.
Respect. And I think that respect is due to individual that hasn't proven you otherwise.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of my mantras is to treat everybody how we want to be treated.
And I agree with
regardless of their status.
I agree.
You just never know who you may need.
You say that again.
And God watching all of us. So you might as well just at least try your best
and you know
to treat everybody right.
I love to hear this because I think that when I hear that you know who he is, I'm talking about the Almighty God.
Absolutely.
To keep him right there with you. Everything you've talked about, you had him in it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something that we all should do because he is the Most High God.
That's foundational.
That's it.
That's foundational. And I think that's another thing that's being passed down. And we need to understand the importance of prayer, but also understand that prayer without the word
is dead.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's time out for us to just not only just praying for our business. It's time out for us to just praying for our children. There are certain foundational things that we are missing the mark, but we are not setting the next generation up for success.
Exactly.
Right. And we need to understand that. That's an accountability measure.
Exactly. You see, and you come out with these words, I just love that accountability.
It's accountability.
Because of that, what you're doing is because, like I said, that I've watched you, and when I heard you, was it a year ago? When I saw you we were with Nicole, she had something.
Nicole's an amazing person.
And I saw you when you went on stage. We were over at
the 850 Center.
Yeah, Bill's
I remember
place.
that. Right.
And I think that's where I met you.
Yes.
And I said, okay.
There was a panel discussion.
Exactly.
Yes, I remember that. I forget the name of the event, but absolutely.
I remember that. That's when I met. That's about a year ago.
Correct.
Or maybe a little bit more.
Maybe a little more.
But I have watched you since then. And with what you do, how you're in, you're here, you do this, and the thing that you've done all over the city, but the thing that you brought back. Now this Wellness Wednesday, this Wednesday event that you do,
Right.
what's behind that?
Well, first, it was ordained. And a good friend of mine and school board member back in Leon County, Darrell Jones, would tell me all the time, and it didn't dawn on me. He said, you do a common thing uncommonly well. And it's a common thing. We all know that we're more powerful, we're stronger together. Right. So historically, I've done a lot of events, and I knew I had a gift of bringing people together.
Right.
So as I got older and matriculated into my professional endeavors, I decided to steer away from, the club promotions and the festivals and things. But how can I still bring people together? And I thought about the populations of people that I belong to and respected, and those are the business owners. Those are the backbone, the pillars of any community. Communities where small business thrives.
Right.
Crime goes down. Crime is symptomatic of poverty. And when we start putting money back in certain neighborhoods, we'll see those symptoms. Yeah, you'll see the symptoms go away. So what we created was a platform, Working Class Wednesday, back in 2016.
Oh, you've been doing it that long?
Oh, yes, ma'am. 2016.
Yes,
and at the time, I'm sorry. It's just, that's almost like slang for me.
I know.
Yeah, I got you, but we're going to steal.
That's how you were raised.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you for correcting me. So back in 2016, I was actually working in the auto industry. I did about almost a decade in the auto industry right now. And at the time, I was one of the top salespeople. Shout out to my brother Eddie Granberry back in Tallahassee, Florida, at Tallahassee Dodge, for creating that opportunity for me. Anyway, I wasn't even owning or operating a business at the time.
Right.
When I came up with the initiative, I actually went upstairs at the dealership and spoke with the owner.
Of course.
After I came up with the idea and the name, and said, I want to start doing networking events for people. I think that'll be a good thing for business, not only their business, but your business. And
exactly.
I came up with a plan for him, and I asked him for a check, and he gave it to me.
Come on
And
now.
he became my first sponsor of the very first Working Class.
Saw something in you that he could believe in.
Absolutely. And he saw something. He saw the benefit for himself too. As a business owner. And since 2016, we've been bridging the gap between local community, small business, elected officials. It has just spawned into this amazing network and family of people. Like in Tallahassee, shout out to Nicole Everett and LaCora and Company, all my DJ, everyone that helped make this a success and make it what it is. The entire Tallahassee community, like Working Class Wednesday, is like a household name for networking.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many people I think that have benefited from the platform, not only myself individually or the people that actually, but I mean, there are so many people, so many connections and relationships that have been born at Working Class Wednesday.
Exactly, and a lot of people don't realize the importance of building relationships.
Absolutely.
You need to make those relationships you build that connection, and then you will see how your network will grow.
Absolutely.
And then as your network grows, come on.
Right, and I like to call it social capital. And when we think about capital and we think about the value of things, a lot of times we miss the mark with how important relationships are. Like who you know. Of course, what you know is super duper important. Whatever your area of expertise, I encourage you to study as much as you can, work as hard as you can to be the very best that you can. But once you've developed this amazing product, the next step to your success in your business or any other endeavor is now people need to trust you enough, and that's where it comes from. That's so foundational and so basic of a narrative. To just build a relationship with people so that when you need something. I know I can call them. I can have your number.
That's
right.
right.
And he gave me your number. I text you. I know how to contact you. And I know that if I need something. And that's how it just grows and grows and grows. So what we've done is we've hosted networking events. We've done so many different workshops and webinars and things in the community. We're an award-winning platform. We got some accolades behind us. And a lot of the times I do look at it as a pivotal point in my own personal life. Was when I understood how important it is to know people.
Most certainly. And when you build, you said something also I think that's absolutely, totally important. Trust.
Trust. People do business with people that they trust.
They trust
or they regret, or they end up regret doing business with.
Say that again. They will regret it if they can't build that relationship to have that trust, that I'm going to give you this. Even when it comes to that, even with the branding of their business.
Absolutely. And if I walk away from you not knowing if I got a good deal, of not knowing if you took good care of me.
Thank you.
Where's that level of trust? And I think that comes through cultivating relationships with people. A lot of times we don't like to speak to other people. Like there's an entire world of people that you would never meet if you don't open your mouth.
That's me.
So yeah, networking, that's what we do. We are the ultimate
I'm telling you.
networking experience. I think we have the best group of people in one of the best communities that embrace what we really, really needed. Like we've been sponsored by so many different entities, from government entities,
Right.
But it's just been amazing. Now we've done it in Pensacola. Pensacola has welcomed working class Wednesday with open arms, and I think it's amazing just to see people come together.
And you see what you said, there's something else, because I believe in this. I always tell people, I said, when I leave, you're going to remember me.
Absolutely.
You are going to remember me.
And I think that's the goal. That's the goal. I don't think.
Exactly.
Yeah, God didn't give me talents to hide them under a bush.
Thank you.
Right. And I think a lot of times we get in our own way, and it's getting outside of our comfort zone. That's why I'm so amazed about the platform that God gave us, the vision to create. It's people that come to me and tell me, like, if it wasn't for this event, I would have never met so-and-so. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have done this. If it wasn't for this, it was something that I didn't do alone, but I just appreciate the fact that God trusted me with being able to be a resource for so many people. And it's been beneficial on both ends. So
it's knowledge, and I believe that knowledge is power. And when you have
absolutely.
that, be able to share it, because there's enough for everybody to be able to grow.
It's enough.
And to get that network to grow even more. You hear me say this often, that I believe that, when you do meet somebody, you greet that person, you are going to get a level of trust. And when you get that trust in them, then they're going to believe in you with their business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so therefore you can help with theirs, but don't go in thinking that, okay, I owe you something. No.
Listen, and you took that, and I got a perfect analogy for that. A lot of times people don't understand that in business, in life, in certain situations, relationships, you are here to serve.
Right.
Like you are here to serve.
Absolutely.
Like one of my favorite sayings is, if serving is beneath you, then leadership is beyond you.
Exactly.
If you don't understand that your business is offering in some shape, form, or fashion a service, and you are here to serve, if you are meeting new people and you have a business in mind that you want said people to, in the future, patronize, you have to lead with the attitude of humility that I am here to serve. There has to be some sort of benefit in order for us to sit across the table. Like people can buy their own lunch.
Thank you.
And like people like, so me going to lunch with you,
that ain't gonna make nothing.
That's not going to move me.
No.
But understanding relationships and the importance of knowing people and having that humility and attitude to serve. And I think it's amazing what you see when people are in a place or in a space where they feel comfortable enough to interact. Because we losing the human interaction.
I agree. I mean, and then what gets me go in with the attitude that, okay, you can reach me, I'm reachable, I'm trustworthy, and I'm going to do exactly what I said.
Right, and there's no better place to do that than in person.
Thank you.
And I don't think I think we're going away from the importance of these sort of conversations. Because you and I could have texted back and forth this same exact conversation, and yet it still wouldn't be as
effective as it is now.
Yeah, okay. And that's called impact.
That's it.
That's impact.
Ladies, I tell you, he's talking my language. We're talking with Mr. Terrence L. Barber today. And we're going to take now our Black History Break that's being brought to you by AHW Barber Academy. Well, you can go there with my guy Ace, and I'll tell you, within 8 months, you can have your own business. Think about that, become your own barber. And of course, my good friends there at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, right down the street, as a matter of fact, Mr. David Hawkins, he's the owner. Thank you for being a part right here on Sunshine's Corner.
For centuries, black women toiled under the most brutal and vulnerable conditions for the financial and sexual exploitation of slaveholders. Following the Civil War, these new American citizens began looking for ways to exert control over their own labor. Many took on wage work, primarily in domestic service, under the watchful eye of white employers.
Women worked as maids, as cooks, as child nurses, and as laundresses. They're all very clear about wanting to work under conditions that are very different from slavery. And of course, the employers have the opposite objectives.
With low pay and little autonomy, many found that the terms of their employment were hauntingly similar to those they'd face under slavery. The power struggle that ensued between white employers and black women over their wages and work conditions inspired those on the front lines to mobilize. And when daily acts of resistance proved insufficient, they launched into political protest and action.
Laundry work dominated because it gave women the most autonomy, largely because they typically conducted the labor in their own homes. They were able to use their wash sites to launch one of the most important strikes in the history of Atlanta.
In 1881, 20 black washerwomen in Atlanta founded the Washing Society and announced that its members would strike unless they were paid at a higher uniform rate. In just a few weeks, the struggle expanded to 3,000 strikers. In the push and counter-push, the laundresses canvassed from door to door and were buoyed by the support of local churches. Though their full demands were not met, the laundresses overcame daunting obstacles in their path, including the threat of being arrested and the imposition of fees, to prove that black women, not too many years out of slavery, were capable political organizers. In doing so, the Washing Society helped set the stage for a century of civil rights protests and victories to follow.
And welcome back to this conversation that we're having today that's utterly important. Mr. Terrence L. Barbara.
Terrence L. Barbara.
Terrence, what is the most, what I can say, in the communities that you are involved in, what is the most common generational, I call them curses, that's hard to break, that people don't want to get it, fall in line, or they think this is the way it's going to be because I got this right now. But, you know, there's some things you got to break to get to move forward. What's the most common that you find in the communities? The things that they don't want to change?
I think one of the most important things that we got to understand is if nothing changes, nothing changes. That's common sense. And right now, we don't have a common sense approach to a lot of common things, and that goes with people perish due to a lack of knowledge.
Exactly.
And we don't know, and it's not being passed down. The information is not being passed down, and we're not seeking the information.
Right.
We have communities right now that have turned a blind eye to so many important issues because that's not, and a lot of times people can't afford, they don't think they can afford to pay attention to anything but what's right in front of them. And that's generational as well. So I would just say that the lack of focus on what's important across communities, and that comes with education.
Right.
And that education, if people aren't being met where they are, the only other alternative is to seek that education. A lot of times in our communities, we're not even seeking that information. So
Absolutely.
It's never going to be just privy to us. Social media and the media and these other entities were not designed to educate you on the important things. It was designed to entertain you. But people have become lost in the sauce, and all of a sudden these things that were designed to entertain us, we are now allowing it to educate us.
Thank you.
Like if it's not on Facebook, a lot of people won't know. If it's not on Instagram, if it's not on TikTok, a lot of people, they will never know about it. And it's probably gonna have to be a sponsored ad on their social media because they don't even follow these pages that would even be giving them, and that's the biggest gap. And I think that over here, there's a line in the sand. On one side of it, the people know. On the other side of it, the people don't know.
That's right.
And there's a big difference.
That's right.
Between the people that know and the people that don't know.
That's right. When it comes to discipline, I mean, you know, when we're dealing with change, it's not going to happen overnight.
Absolutely not.
When you get the knowledge, you got to learn to apply it and give it time. You got to build it so that it will be successful for you in the long run. It takes discipline when you're stepping away from some of these quick, I call it the Burger King fixes.
Correct.
I mean, now, don't get me wrong. I like to go out and I like to see a Jordan tennis shoe, but I'm not going to pay no $200 for it if I can't afford it.
Gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? But I think what I see, instead of us planting, now, this man out there is filthy rich, Jordan, love him with a perfect kind of love. But if I'm going to give, well, let me do something, mimic what he did, to get to where he is with his generational wealth. Look
Correct.
what he did. But we tend to think that if I buy this trying to impress somebody that don't even know me with money that I don't have.
And that's another super important thing when it comes to education. And shout
Exactly.
out to Loyalty Credit Union, who's afforded me the opportunity to travel between Tallahassee, Pensacola, and Panama City, and becoming a certified financial counselor.
Exactly.
Through the credit union industry and being able to educate people. When it goes back to discipline, making money.
That's right.
Like at a certain point in our lives, the majority of us will have some money. I'm not saying it's going to be a lot of money.
Exactly.
But you're going to have some money through whatever. But if you're not educated, disciplined
Right.
when it comes to your money, budgeting, the average American household does not have a budget in place.
No, they don't.
We're not financially fit.
That's right.
Enough to understand that if our overhead
Some people don't have
exceeds-
$5,000 in their account.
the majority of America.
Exactly.
And that's another thing that social media and these other things that have our attention teach us that no, the average American family are living check to check.
That's right.
But now people are struggling. There are rich people that are struggling. And we've seen horror stories of people that became exceedingly successful and then end up broke. Yeah. Simply because you can buy it does not mean that you can afford it.
Exactly.
And like you said, we've been trained in a lot of ways to shop frivolously.
Too.
Yeah, and because we don't understand that we have to plan. That goes back to planning.
There you go.
Like people are living like, there's a good friend of mine, Herschel Holloway, back in Tallahassee. He would say your budget is your Bible.
Thank you.
Like if you want to know what's important to people, watch how they go to their checking account and see where they spend their money at.
Exactly.
And I tell a lot of people when I'm in my financial education realm of things is take time, go look at what you spend your money on.
Exactly.
And then ask yourself, is this the most important thing?
Exactly.
And a lot of time that comes with, like you said, Sonshine, with discipline.
I agree. And and I see a lot of people also, especially I want our people in our community to go ahead and invest in homes. Because when you look at apartment rent today, you paying 2 house payments.
Correct.
Think about it.
Correct. And there's so many different ways, so many intricate ways into real estate and home ownership. That's another thing that we're just not educated. There's so many programs. People right now don't think they qualify to purchase a home, but there's a program.
It is.
There's a program that someone sat with a person exactly in their same situation, but we just, like I say, my people perish
for a lack of knowledge.
And that's why I love and I enjoy. Shout out to Kiara and Miss Walissa, Hard Realty Investment Group. I've learned so much about real estate and the importance of home ownership.
Exactly.
Like you can't build equity.
Thank you.
In communities that we don't own.
That's right.
And that's another thing, that generational wealth. But that comes with education.
Exactly. And we got to figure out the ways that we can continue to educate. You are hearing this today. Now, just in case you didn't get to watch the show today, some of us always wait to see. Sometime, what time it's coming back? It's going to play a game this afternoon at 6 o'clock. So you'll be able to see it. Now, if you missed that, you can go to our YouTube account and you'll be able to pull it up and just take it any way you want to and listen to it over and over and over and get this powerful information. I want to say to all that reach out to me and sometimes ask me, well, can you have this on so we can learn this? Because the show is to educate our community, to give them the knowledge, to become more knowledgeable on becoming wealthy with your generation, to be able to pass it down, to know how to get out of this. I still see so many quick fix things that they don't mind spending on to teach fast money. And if you don't invest your money in something,
right, it's a long
other than
game.
Burger King.
It's a long game.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a long game.
And I mean, come on, you can't even buy a dinner with hamburgers unless you spend $25, $30.
Right.
You got 2 people, you spend $25.
And another thing too, I think as a community, we have to understand that there's a vast majority of our community that have been, whether directly or indirectly affected about just their surroundings. A lot of people in certain communities never grow past what they can see.
Exactly.
They're still living on the same street. They still have the same exact mindset. They're in the same exact environment. They're doing what they saw the generation before them doing, and we've been and then the outside extremities, the music and everything else that we're being fed in our communities, that's as far as we can see, but that comes with self-education. That comes with people like you, yourself, people like me, people that actually have heart for a community, creating these avenues in which for people to come together and then in some way get the education to the resources, and access to the resources that they need.
Exactly. So ladies and gentlemen, you hear we're talking about something that's utterly important for your growth. utterly important for your family growth. Utterly important that you can take the next step and become more independent. I mean, and I believe in the independence of doing things. Step out, take your faith along with you.
Wow.
And I believe that when he gives you plant you an idea into your thought process, that he's gonna, if he brings you to it, he'll take you through it. But you got to be able to have that trust in yourself to build with that, and not always rely on somebody else. When you get that and you show your children, like you said, when, when you're in certain homes, they're used to seeing one thing because nobody has done anything else.
Correct.
So who's going to be that person that's going to step out to show them a different way? As we continue to educate our community, we've got to let them know that, come on, when you get this knowledge, don't grab it like this and hold on to it.
Right.
Open your hands and let it fly. Do something with it.
And I think that comes as a collective and as a community. And that's why it's so important, bringing people together and bridging that gap between certain entities and individuals and creating those relationships, because otherwise people just wouldn't know.
Exactly.
They just wouldn't know. And there's a huge gap between the ones that do know and don't know. So you're going to have to, I mean, the collective and coming together is the only way we're going to be able to share that information.
You've been doing this for 10 years consistent. I mean, I said 10 years.
A decade.
Woo. But no, when you're good at something,
right.
I don't think God places us anywhere that he don't want us to be.
Right.
And look how you're from Tallahassee, but look at the other entities, the states that you named off, that even working what you're doing, that you go into, that you're making a change, to show people how they can become successful and to teach their families about generational wealth.
Absolutely.
And not to stay there in the same place and, if. No. Take a step and move. So you know that the importance of what you're doing to educate our community with the ones that are here. And I see who you're working with. I see what you're doing. And I understand where you're trying to reach to get them to.
Absolutely.
And I commend you on that, because there's a lack right there. There's a space right there that you're feeling, that some people are not reaching out to touch. I feel it. I see it. I think I've kind of alluded to that to you before, because when we were at the parade, a person asked me, who is that? You said something that intrigued him. We'll talk more about that. But we're going to go now. We got to take another break, but we'll be back right here with more on Sonshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car, because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
My name's Kelly McLeod. I'm the owner of Bella Magazine. Bella is a source of uplifting and inspiring content for the women of Pensacola.
I think the magazine is just so thoughtfully done. There's a lot of attention to detail. The stories are really good.
You've got seriousness, you've got fun, education, fashion. It just encompasses everything.
Women are multidimensional, and so is Bella.
From the efficiency of American natural gas and the dependability of nuclear power, to the strength of Florida's sunshine and the flexibility of advanced battery storage systems, we leverage a diverse mix of energy sources to power our growing state, ensuring reliable, low-cost power for your home or business whenever you need it. FPL, working for you every single day.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
I'm gonna text him today.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the hottest spot in town. Look, we're talking about those days in radio. You know what? When you said something, I kind of picked up on that when you said with the promotion, with the artists and all these things. I said, okay, you know what you're talking about. And you dealt with those people, then you know I understand the game of that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes even down to that. Okay? I mean, because I did that for many, many years.
Right, absolutely.
Many years.
Absolutely.
But we're talking today in building and growth. Building that generational wealth. Knowing how to take the next step to grow, to become even better at what you're doing. Showing your family that the trait that is not just going to be given to you in your hand. You got to walk through this thing and take it on. Pass it on so that it can keep going and going and going.
Right, right.
And I appreciate what you've done by bringing that here even to Pensacola to teach and educate those that need that education, to show them that they are, you know, there's space for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we can do this thing together, you know, and to grow, that you can have something as well. Don't just always just accept what somebody gives you. You know, you said something, you know.
Absolutely.
Take it and grow with it.
Right. Set the standard. But take care of it. A lot of
you.
times in passing down things and what we receive from others, I mean, it's got so raggedy before it got to us.
Say it again.
You know, it's not being passed. A lot of times it ain't just about passing it down, it's passing it down at the right point.
Exactly.
Like a lot of times
You're right.
In the realm of small business education and all these other things, like at a point you have to start preparing to pass these things down, so to let other people know how to maintain it once they get it.
And I heard you when about your faith, and when you were talking, I told you earlier, every time you mentioned the fact about God.
Absolutely.
Do you believe that this initiative is part of your divine assignment from Him?
Oh, absolutely. It's a ministry.
Come on now.
I truly believe that it's a ministry, it's a calling on my life. It's something that it's my assignment, because it doesn't feel like I'm working. It doesn't feel like something that was out of the reach of something to do when we start creating these concepts, and I start seeing the people gather, like even from the very first event.
Right.
It was like a ministry. Like people are coming to get this education. People are coming with the idea that they're going to benefit something from coming on this evening to a Working Class Wednesday event. So I truly believe that, like a good friend of mine, Greg James, used to call me the Pastor Gregory James back in Tallahassee, used to call me the Bishop of Business.
Okay.
Because he saw it. He was like, man, this is really your ministry. You have a knack, or you have a gift for bringing people together. So I truly believe that even the stories and the relationships, like I've known people now, I have friends that I've had for the last 10 years. And nowadays that's a long friendship.
Tell me about it.
So if it's people that these relationships were born at Working Class Wednesday, and these are some of my best friends, some of the best relationships that I have, the people that I know for a fact, if I was to call on LaCora, if I was to call on Nicole, these people that I met through this vessel that God entrusted me with.
Exactly.
And I tell people all the time that there's no way I did any of this by myself. If it was up to me, you know, sometimes there was times where this event didn't support itself, where we were having to all invest our time, all invest our finances. The people that are, the majority of the people that are now within this organization are the same people.
I'm with you 100%. And I want you to continue to do what you're doing, because you're making a difference. And as long and I believe strongly with everything that flows through me, as long as you keep God in it, honey.
God at the front.
At the front,
God
baby.
at the front. Yeah,
Let
God's
Him be at the front.
Right.
Then you're going to be even more so successful. He says that He has so much for us, that even more than we can think, imagine, or even ask.
I would not have imagined almost 10 years ago that I would be, Working Class Wednesday and just doing this thing that I thought was the right thing. It's basically the reason why I'm even in Pensacola. Had this space not been created, then that was the ultimate segue. So I think that what anyone should take from that is, man, collective, the power of collective. And I want people to understand how important and how powerful coming together, how powerful sharing information, how powerful choosing to collaborate over compete within our own communities. Like everything doesn't have to be a competition.
I know it.
Everything shouldn't
that bothers me.
Everything shouldn't be a competition.
I agree.
So I think that was the most important part of the ministry,
of course,
so to speak, was that collective.
You know what, Terrence, I tell you, when I sit here now, I smile because I love to hear that because of the fact that what you're doing is making a difference. And you see, what he has taken, what God has given him, and he's taken it to another level. You see, God also provides. He makes it so that he's going to provide so that you can get that information out to his people and let them know what it is. There's a legacy that's being built, the powerfulness of what you're educating them, and also to let them know that you keep God in whatever you do. Keep yourself educated on him as well.
Right.
He's going to take you to where he wants you to be. And when he gets you there, that's only another level up.
Right, right.
Because you're his children.
Right.
I tell people all the time, if you think about your earthly father, but you think about your spiritual father, come on, somebody.
Right, and I think that we also have to understand how important access is. And how that shapes and molds our experience. I love to talk about my daughter. She's a young budding.
I see how you are with her.
Young entrepreneur. If Working Class Wednesday is 10 and she's 17, that means that she's been participating.
That's right.
She's had access to business owners.
That's right.
The majority of her life. I mean, at the point her cognitive skills were enough to understand, like, okay, this person owns a business.
That's right.
They don't have a job. They work. They make this. They sell this. She's understood this concept. So now that she's a senior in high school, and I'm not going to take complete responsibility for this, but I'm just saying like how certain access to what can be affects our mindset. So now that she's a senior and a straight A student, she's like, Daddy, well, she just called me last night. She does nails. She's a nail tech. She does have an Instagram. I'll put that in the comments. But
we got 10 seconds left.
But yeah, she wants to be an entrepreneur, and I think that exposing our youth, exposing the next generation to all these things, these many facets of generational wealth. But it has to be, there's an importance.
It is, and you recognize that importance.
Absolutely.
And ladies and gentlemen, we got to get out of here. It's been a great day with Terrence, but this show will come back on this afternoon at 6 o'clock. Leaving you as I do every day. Never lose your focus. Always remember to keep God first in whatever you do. Handle it that way, and I guarantee you're going to be a total success. Until 9 o'clock in the a.m., know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Have a great day. Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.